Here we go. And they're off. They race away for the Jewson St Helens Novices Steeplechase. 3 runners. Looks a compelling contest here with Beauport just in front from Ballygrifincottage. And on his return, Quel Destin close up doing the inner route as Beauport lands over the first safely enough. And he's on the wide outside of the other 2. So they head on now down towards the next fence. Beauport just in front from Ballygrifincottage, and Quel Destin the back marker. All 3 jump fence number 2 well, and another couple of fences over on the far side to negotiate, with Beauport striding on now. The Carlisle winner ahead of Ballygrifincottage, and Quel Destin last of the trio. Great to see Quel Destin back on the track. A couple of years off. High level of form at his best. He's the outsider of the 3 today. The 2 ahead of him at the moment. Favourite Beauport leads second, favourite Ballygrifincottage over the ditch, and Quel Destin well in touch. Last of the 3. Early stages of this intriguing Jewson St Helens Novices Steeplechase has been conducted without any particular alarm for any of the 3 runners. They've taken the first 4, and now they're in towards the home straight for the line of 4 fences that await them there first time around. Beauport on the outside, almost inviting a little bit of company there by going wider around the bend than Ballygrifincottage, who's virtually upside. Both horses with their ears pricked and firmly on they go towards fence number 5 with a 2-length break then to Quel Destin. And both leaders jumped very well indeed there. Ballygrifincottage jumping fences for the first time in public today alongside Beauport, who put in such a good display to win at Carlisle on his debut. And they're still together at the next fence. Quel Destin popped over that in 3rd place. All still jumping pretty well as they move on towards fence number 7. On the stand side, that's Beauport. White and red colours of Ballygrifincottage. Beauport led there by half a length. Away from that, from Ballygrifincottage in 2nd, and Quel Destin in 3rd place. Coming now towards fence number 8, and then they'll go round again. Beauport with the advantage. Beauport, Ballygrifincottage, slightly awkward at that one. So too was Quel Destin. Beauport and Ballygrifincottage as one coming past the enclosures with this circuit to go. Nothing to choose between them. Beauport on the stand side of Ballygrifincottage, and 2.5 lengths away is Quel Destin. So they move away now left-handed. Pretty sharp bend on towards the back straight. And Ballygrifincottage going the shortest way with Beauport on his outside, and Quel Destin 2.5 lengths away in 3rd place. Harry Cobden just nudging along gently on Quel Destin. It's been a long time since we saw him in a race. I wonder if that will show a little bit later on. Meanwhile, it's still Beauport and Ballygrifincottage together as they head towards fence number 9. Beauport just in front from Ballygrifincottage. Both of them accelerated nicely into that fence, and both jumped it really well. Quel Destin switched to the wide outside now, but a definite 3rd and last as they approach the next fence. Beauport in a bit close that time. Ballygrifincottage lands just in front there, and Quel Destin is 5 lengths back, last of the trio. Beauport and Ballygrifincottage at the middle fence over on the far side. That was a bad mistake from Beauport. That really wasn't a particularly good jump, and Ballygrifincottage handed the advantage and a narrow lead. Beauport needs to respond with a better jump. Oh, he took a bit of a chance there as well. Quel Destin still going, but off the pace now in 3rd place. This is the final ditch, and things may well have swung in Ballygrifincottage favour for the time being. He jumped that ditch really well, and he's got a 3 lead on Beauport, maybe 4, and a similar margin back to Quel Destin, the back marker. So it's Ballygrifincottage for Dan and Harry Skelton. Gliding into a lead here. Harry has a look round, sees that Beauport, with those couple of mistakes down the back, is now 4 lengths back in 2nd place, and certainly needing to respond. Quel Destin 6 lengths further back, last of the trio. Turning for home then, the closing stages of the Jewson St Helens Novices Steeplechase. Ballygrifincottage then heads down towards the 4th last from Beauport in 2nd. Great jump by the leader, not so good from Beauport. Once again, His technique is really under scrutiny, and he's been found wanting over 3 of the last 4 fences. Ballygrifincottage then powers on down towards the third last and measures it beautifully. Beauport second. Quel Destin unable to muster any sort of challenge, back in 3rd place, and he's disappearing in the distance. Meanwhile, going the other way is Ballygrifincottage, now down towards the 2nd last. Measured that one perfectly. From Beauport in 2nd place, Jordan Naylor pushing along on Beauport, but it's surely in vain if Ballygrifincottage can get himself over the 17th and final fence, which was never really in doubt, because on his chasing debut, he's been nothing short of terrific today. Very, very clean, good round of jumping. He looks as though there's loads of petrol still left in the tank. And Ballygrifincottage, the latest one to put his name down on what may well turn out to be a day to remember at Haydock here. We've had a stunning start to the day, and Ballygrifincottage has delivered a superb display to beat Beauport and Quel Destin as he likes.
Winning trainer of the Jewson St Helens Novices Chase joins us, Dan Skelton. And many congratulations, Dan. Chasing debuts don't come much better than that, do they?
No, that was lovely. Fair play to the second horse. You know, he's had to carry an £8 penalty in pretty soft conditions there. So I think the form's pretty strong. I know it was only a 3-runner race, but you know, Paul's horse is no slouch either. I know it's had a long time off, but I think that was pretty strong form. I was happy with how Ballygrifincottage jumped. The ground is the most important part of the jigsaw with him. Yeah. So, you know, nice slow ground today is ideal, and he'll be running when that ground's around, really. Yeah, and this trip as well, I mean, you've got Lac de Constance as well, who's got not devoid of pace, won well at Kempton. Where does this fella go? You mentioned Warwick? They would definitely split distances. Yeah. I'm not afraid to come back and trip with Lac, and this horse, you could go as far as you want. So I think the idea is Lac goes to Kempton on the 27th. Yeah. This horse I'll probably leave till Warwick. On the, I think it's the 14th of Jan, right. Or the 12th of Jan maybe, go for the Hampton Court, and then we'll plan our spring target. Yeah, and you mentioned something maybe after that as well, after Warwick? Yeah, I mean, if you went, like, it's with a horse hopefully as good as him, and he can keep improving and stay in that graded level, you know, it's quite a nice map there for the Hampton Court, the Toton, the Reynoldstown. You can't do all 3, you could do the first one and maybe one of the 2 others. If the ground came up really soft, he'd be a player. He'd be a strong consideration at least for the RSA, and then you've got Aintree, so he's got he's got options. Yeah, Reynoldstown's always been a trial, hasn't it, for the Reynoldstown? Not so much in the old days; it never seemed to work out, did it? But better these days. Tell me about Black Lion later on, an old friend of ours. He's a grand old boy. He won this race last year, and it'd be magical to win another race with him. He's in flying form at home. He got himself behind at Bangor and sort of never really picked up at all. Almost didn't want to be there, but he did, because we know what he's like at home in training. He loves it. I think he's just getting a bit wiser and a bit cleverer, and you know, if he gets a bit outpaced early, he sort of says, well, I'm not sure about this today, but hopefully around here it suited him last year. He could get into a real rhythm, and if he can do that, on what I've seen at home, the fire is definitely still burning. So the fact he's down the weights, it's more to do with if he fancies it today and he still loves it. Yeah. But exactly, he loves it at home. I can confirm that. He wouldn't be here if I had any doubt at all about a teenager. Yeah. But when they go out there, that's up to them. Yeah. Big race today, winning that nicely with you've got Lac de Constance, you've had Lamilos, you've had Protectorat. That Nichols fella, he taught you too well, I think. Yeah, well, he once said to me, don't forget, I taught you all you know, not all I know. Nice one. Well done today, Dan. Cheers. Cheers. Cheers.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.